Yo, what's up, everybody? Good evening to everyone. Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships Live Talk. And tonight we have, I know it's been a minute, right, for our live talks, but in the year 2023, we have our first live talk with a very special guest. This guy is a entrepreneur, okay, in the streets of New York with his clothing line. So let me go ahead and bring him up because he's also a good friend of Mr. Best in the world. Let's bring up King Dobbi. So
Yes,
salute King
sir.
Dobby. And
Appreciate it.
damn it, and I
Appreciate it.
forgot to bring my sound effects on here too though, but it's okay. Sometimes it takes a minute to load up.
Yo,
But
bring out the sound. Bring out the confetti.
man, like it won't even sound right if I don't have my air horns though. Come on.
There you go.
You know what I
That's a
mean? It's a little
fact.
low, but I'll just in a minute. But yeah, King Dobby, man, like definitely great to meet you. Mr. Best,
Same here,
good to
man.
see
Same
you
here.
as always, man.
Yes,
How's
sir.
everybody doing?
I'm well,
Chilling
man.
out, man.
I can't complain, man.
All right, cool, man. So, like I said, man, thank you for allowing us to give you like this live talk, And the reason why I like to call these like live talks because, see, although like it may be like an interview, but I want to
Hmm.
make it feel like a natural conversation. It's not always
All
about
right.
like 21 questions, but you and I we all engage. You can feel free to ask us questions as we're asking you, Darby.
All right, cool.
But let me ask you the first question, right? Just to get to know
Okay.
you, if you don't mind, right? Personally, can you tell us about yourself?
Oh, well, my name is Dobby. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm in my late 30s. I can give you the exact. I can give you the exact target. You know what I mean? But I'm in my late 30s.
All right.
I've been doing designing more or less on the clothes side for I want to say maybe about like 10 years. I've
Okay.
caught the majority of my success within like the last, I want to say the last two. You know what I mean?
Okay.
What got me into clothes was and it may sound corny, but me wanting to get into clothes, what made me want to get into actually make my own clothes was born in the Evisu era. And what happened with that was I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford no Evisu jeans at the time, and then when I could, I was so mesmerized about how they used to stitch on the back pocket. But as far as the information goes, the information wasn't as present as it was now. You know what I'm saying? So with me sticking with it on and off, up and down, trials and tribulations, I always stayed intrigued with it because I like fashion. And then fast forward to my first brand, which was Elefante. Elefante is the brand that really kind of propelled me into really doing it as far as graphics, t-shirts, so forth and so forth. And when it came to Dobby Apparel, Dobby Apparel was supposed to be a spin-off from Elefante. Dobby Apparel was supposed to be my high-end line, but I actually wound up having to shelf Elefante for tax reasons. So then Dobby Apparel was born.
Yes, sir. Hey, M3, you muted, man.
Damn. Okay, I didn't know. My bad. Thank you. All right, man. So you've been
hmm
doing this joint for like 10 years, and then you
Mm-hmm.
said within the last 2 years, like when things started to like kind of boom off a little
Kind of
bit.
boom more for me, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So around like 2020 or 2021 ish, like.
I want to say, COVID,
Okay. All right.
beginning of COVID, because the thing with COVID was we was all home, so all I could really do was just do research. So
Mm.
with me just on Google,
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, um, a gym. Here's a gym. A lot of people don't know how to use their search engines correctly. But if you understand how the search engine works, you could pretty much find anything you want. Whether it's at that time or it'll come to
Mm-hmm.
you later, because that's pretty much what social media is. The key word in social media is media. So
Mm-hmm.
if you understand media, you understand your search engine, it ain't really nothing you can't do,
Okay, let's just talk a little bit more into as far as like the search side because it is a thing. A lot of people, especially including myself, have a notion that okay, you want to find something, just type something in and then bam, you'll find it. But you're telling people like there's a proper way. There's supposed to be a more actual and proper way to search, so then you'll be able to find your research.
Right.
Well, how you do that?
See, all right. So let's say you want to find ingredients to, let's say, buttercrunch cookies. So in the back of the buttercrunch cookies package, it's pretty much the natural facts of what's inside of it. But because you can get what's inside the cookie, doesn't mean that's how you actually make the cookie. But if you understand how to use the search engine to actually understand how to break down a buttercrunch cookie, you'll be able to find the correct recipe for a buttercrunch cookie. So it really stems from the first page is key, right? Google search, what is that? What's the other one? Bing? Anything like that? Mm-hmm. So if you properly go to each one, you'll be able to break it down. You know what I'm saying? How you may search for a buttercrunch cookie is not how you may technically search for graphics or a t-shirt. But if you understand what you're looking at, and that's the key. If you understand what you're looking at, you'll be able to break down and decipher what's the proper result you're looking for and what's not. The same thing for Instagram, the same thing for Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. They all pretty much lead to the same search engine, which is rich as 9 times out of 10 Google search. Because if you ever notice, you ever wonder why when you're looking for something, they keep popping up on your social media?
Yeah.
That's why. Because they all link to the same thing. It's all an information hub.
And that makes sense too, though. It's kind of like cookies a little bit. You look for one little area, or whatever. Like your phone hears you say about, I want JCPenney's or whatever. Next thing you know, like by the time you go on your phone, for it. Exactly.
Right. It's pretty much the same thing. Like they, it's pretty much on a larger scale beyond us. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you know how to break it down and you know how to get to what you get to, you ain't gonna never really need no money.
Okay, that's what's up.
Man, he got me smiling, man. Inside out, he said that buttercrunch cookie, man. Oh my gosh, man. Oh my god.
I felt like it was a reference.
Man, back in the days when I could eat whatever I want, like I could eat literally whatever I want. I can't do that no more.
If we had the search engine power like what we have now, it'll be a lot more successful people. But see, the thing is about information, you can have it in front of you, but now you gotta use it. And that was the thing with COVID. Everybody had information to whatever they was looking for. Some of them just didn't use it, or they used it wrong, and then only select few used it right. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. And because, like I said, you could find information that could blatantly tell you, and maybe I'm like stretching out a little bit too much. Like how to make 6 figures easily. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to stretch out to $1 million like that. That's too much for everybody to comprehend at this point, right? Mm-hmm. Especially in the chat. But let's say you could find an easy solution how to make 6 figures, okay, easily, and they'll tell you like the steps. But the thing is, like, you got to actually have that will and tenacity to really apply into that,
right?
Because here's the thing, right? Depending, like, let's say, like, maybe at one period of time, if you was doing, your business full-time or part-time, it takes, like, a lot of faith and it takes a lot of, like, determination to be consistent, which it still goes back to, the 10-year mark. Right. Like, I'm for sure, like, like 10 years ago, like, before, like, Google and YouTube became a lot more bigger, I'm for sure like it was a little bit harder to really do those type of researches, because you didn't really have a lot of people inputting so much information on how to do this and how to do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and that's the thing. The information, whether it's on an internet search engine or in the world, it's there. See, we, me and D, we from the era of where we had to really put the foot to the tarmac. You know what I'm saying? We had to go We had to
Yeah.
go to the city. We had to go to the fashion district. We had to go and mix and make it with the
Mhm.
men. You know, now you fast forward 10, 12 years, 20 years ahead, you could sit in your crib on the toilet, use Google search and get everything you need to be a mastermind. But you got to be able to do the work. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing where a lot of people miss. You got to do the work. Everybody's a credit guru until you got to use your FICO. People don't even know what FICO is.
Yeah.
They pulling up Credit Karma. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
nah, like even with me, I use Credit Karma, but I know Credit Karma is just to give me an estimate. If I want to know what the target is, I gotta go to FICO. I gotta pay that $39.99 a month fee to pull up everything I need. Well,
Yeah.
whether I'm going to buy another crib or I'm going to buy another car, because that's what the financial institutions use.
Mhm.
But my thing is this too. You know, you said a key, man. Like our generation, we basically invented the technology. Whether you
Yeah.
look at Zuckerberg, you look at anybody else that's around that age, we invented that, and we had to actually go to the source back in the day. You know what I mean? You had to actually go there. And when I think about the places that I used to go to, I mean, just to even buy sneakers or to kind of do anything, and I think about the neighborhoods I'll be in, I'm like, damn, I really was in that neighborhood, huh? And I know like how crazy those neighborhoods were, good and bad both. So I'll be anywhere from 144th, 145th and Grand Concourse in the Bronx, all the way to Wall Street. You know what I mean?
See?
And it would be all in the same week. But to me, it was nothing. That's just what you would do. You know what I mean? If you wanted something or you wanted to be around something, you just went. You didn't think about nothing else. You just would go. I mean, I'm not saying I would just go there blindly, like at 3 o'clock in the morning. No.
Right.
I would go at a decent time, and I'll make sure I'm back at a decent time. You know what I mean? I was definitely aware. But I will also say the one thing you mentioned too is the grind, right? Like even with doing the social media thing that we're doing, it's a grind. You know what I mean? Like we just hit 3K subs. I mean, we was at 300 subs. You know what I mean? We had 300 subscribers.
And it's harder now. It's harder when you got to do it on social media. It's harder, and people don't.
Yeah, man.
One thing about being an entrepreneur, it's a selfish and lonely road. Because you got to spend to do what it is you want to do it your way. You got to spend a lot of time alone. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing a lot of people never talk about. You know, they'll talk about like your friends and family won't support you, but before you even get the support, you got to spend a lot of time alone to understand your craft. Whether it's media, you a chef, you're a car mechanic, but that's your craft. Nobody don't owe you nothing when it's your craft. You know what I'm saying? Nobody owe you $1. Nobody owe you no support. This is a lonely hustle. You got to do this dolo. You the one that got to stay up. You know, like think about it. Before social media, matter of fact, we was the guinea pigs for anything internet savvy.
Yep.
We was the ones on America Online in the chat rooms. We was the one using dial up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We was the ones with the phone with the bad signals. We was the guinea pigs for that. That's why when it comes to even certain things now, we always say like, damn, I don't know how I did it that fast. Because we've been doing it. We just didn't know we was doing it, but we've been doing it. It's crazy. Even when I first got into clothes, I know a lot of people that had brands. A lot of people used to always say like, a lot of people was gatekeepers. They don't want to tell you this, they don't want to tell you that. But when you think about it, you think about their story and how hard they had to work to get to the information that you trying to get to. They don't owe you that, dog. And it's a lot of people that have information and they'll just sit on it. It is right information, but they ain't not even using it. They don't owe you that. You got to go bust those moves yourself. I used to spend, I remember a couple of times me in the beginning stages, I was hell bent on how to learn, just to be in the mix of the guys that's doing it. I used to be at my kitchen table crying because I'm like, I don't feel like learning Photoshop. I don't feel like learning Illustrator. No matter how nice a cat is with designing their clothes, if he's not using Photoshop and Illustrator, he's not in the game because that's what the manufacturers is using. You send them a text, you send them a mock, that's what they're using. So if you don't know how to use that, nigga, what you doing? We can't have no conversation. We can't have no conversation about the measurements and the cuts. You trying to tell me what you trying to make is 100% cotton. I'm telling you the correct way is doing the cotton poly. Then you can't tell me the cuts of it, whether it's a 60-40. People look at you like you crazy. Like, I sat up late nights. I had to take online classes. I had to do YouTube. It's been nice. Where I had to be on YouTube, take my online class, be on Instagram at the same time. I had to go get 3 phones and 2 iPads and a MacBook. Wow. I just got off work at 11:48. I'm not going to sleep till 4. I got to take wifey to her car at 5, take the kids to school at 8. I got to be back to work at 12. No sleep. The type of time Red Bull and coffee can help you with. You gotta dug it out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you're
I think that's that's something because as I moved, right, and you know me, I don't live in New York anymore.
Right.
But as I moved and I started to travel, I started to live in different spaces and different places. And I remember my first couple of years of not living in New York, actually living amongst other cultures and just kind of working with other cultures. I would see that information was something that they just naturally gave, right? If they see somebody coming up, they would naturally give it. But I think within our culture, we have been accustomed to not giving information, right?
They not want to send it back down to the pipeline.
Exactly. No,
when they want to charge you a boatload of money, like
yeah. So and also I'm in the tech industry, so I'm a certified computer tech. So
congratulations,
hey, thanks, man. I got 1 certificate in administration. I'm going to work on getting my certificate in coding, as well as other things that I want to work on as well. But with that being said, the major point of me telling the story is that as I work with different cultures, I've been in different places and spaces within, some really high esteemed places. The one thing that I've seen that I've learned is that, other cultures, they will use whatever they can to basically use the system, right? They don't care if they have to use government support. They don't care if they even have to go to food bank to get free food. Like literally, they will stand in line.
They're going to thug it out.
And they will be there. And they're going to make sure everybody in the community, if they get 10 bags of rice, if there's 10 houses that's in that culture, they're going to make sure all 10 houses have a big bag of rice. And they're all going to cook that rice and they're all going to share within those 10 houses. And that's how they do. You know what I mean? Yep. So, and that's how nations move. So I think with our people, and I'm speaking of our people, y'all know what I'm talking about, and who's watching, y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't got to be specific. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Our people, we have a hard time doing that because we're thinking that somebody's going to get over on us. And of course, you're always going to have a bad apple in a bunch. You can't worry about that. You got to stay focused on your mission. If your mission is to help. If it's not to help, you just want to do your own thing, then do your own thing. Like, it's really that simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a goal, I have a mission to get certain things done on here on social media, and then abroad, I'm gonna get those things done. You know what I mean? And I've sacrificed too much. I've just lost somebody that we used to work with. Rest in peace, QueBee. You know what I mean? We just lost her a week and a half ago. I'm not sacrificing all these things. You know what I mean? I'm not seeing all these things happen. I'm not putting all this time in to just let this fall through my hands like sand, man. That shit ain't happening. You know what I mean? I'm going all the way hard. You know what I mean? So by the time this is over, they're going to have to carry me off the floor like fucking LeBron, man. Like, they're going to just carry me off this shit. I'm not giving up until I make sure everything's done.
Heavy on the champagne showers?
Yeah, let's get
it. Man, that would be nice too, man. I feel like maybe one day, if we get up to like maybe our first like 10K, man, champagne showers,
that's a
I'm
fact.
definitely like that.
That's a fact.
Dobbi, man, you had me thinking like heavenly, bro. Like when you was talking about like, putting like the grind into it, and I didn't even thought to even ask like, did you even have a family, like a wife and kids until you brought that up? And I'm like, damn, like that is not saying that you neglect your family or anything like that, but just overall in general, it is like a huge like sacrifice. This YouTube thing, I'm gonna put it like this, right? I'm gonna give you guys a quick story. Like, I feel like without like doing this live stream, I'd probably be out there doing something else right now. You know what I mean? And it probably wouldn't even be for the better. That's how I look at it. Doing this content creation stuff, put on like hours of content. See, the thing is, like, and Mr. Best could kind of contest, could tell you this too, right? Because the thing is, when we go live, all people see is us talking, but they don't know what goes on behind the scenes, the amount of network that we have to put in, talking to certain people, even if the people don't even like us, and we know that, I don't have to hate
Talk
nobody,
about it.
but
Talk about it.
you come
Talk
on, man,
about it.
let's be for real though. I'm for sure
Let's talk
you
about
went
it.
through the same thing.
I went through it, dog. That's why I'm
Mhm.
so at peace now, and I can hear the peace at your voice. You're like, yo, like this week. That's what I'm doing. Like I ain't stressing nothing. We ain't stressing no money. We ain't stressing no time. We gonna get it all back. But I'm not about to put myself in a predicament where I'm gonna lose money and I'm gonna lose my time. You will always get if you work a 9 to 5 at the minimum, you gonna get your money back. You don't get your time back, and that's what I'm not wasting. I'm not wasting my time.
Absolutely, because time is the essence, man. It's very essential. Because that's the one thing I do not appreciate when we're doing a lot of things, right? Especially, and here's the thing: this involves relationship building. Okay, so the thing is, you have to be careful. You don't want to mix this is with pleasure.
Everything at this point requires a handshake. Look you in your eyes. Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Whether we gonna be developed a full-fledged relationship later or now, this involves a handshake, a look in your eye. You know what I do. I tell you what I do. You tell me what you do. If we mix, we mingle. If we don't mix, we don't mingle. That's it. And it ain't no love lost. Like D said, we from the ever area. I don't like him. So we don't nah. Meanwhile, son may have a whole social media joint in the crib, but you done missed it because you first thing go for you ain't like his vibe. You ain't like his vibe because he got the same vibe as you.
Yeah.
That's why I make it a point now. I shake my hand. So I don't care if you mopping floors. I don't care if you fixing a plane or you talking to God. I'm gonna shake your hand the same way. I'm gonna look in your eyes the same way. Introduce myself. If you want to introduce yourself after, then whatever. But it's ain't no love lost. We all could have been in a better situation had we went in there with an open mind.
Yep.
Even me at a with certain things. Like I said, I've been into clothes and manufacturing my way for 10 years, but my full success hasn't come until or happened within the last 2. And within the last 2, if it wasn't for people, like I was successful because of people whose hands I've never shook, but because they like my brand, they like what I stood for, or they like my vibe, they helped me, never charged me nothing. And that's what put me up. If it wasn't for them, I would have still been at the table trying to figure out how to draw. And what I'm going to say next is for people that may not know how to do whatever it is in their craft 100%. I don't know how to draw. I am not the best at Photoshop. I am not the best at Illustrator. But my designs hit because I understand how the software works. You don't gotta be the first to do it. You just gotta be the best. You gotta be your best to do it. They can't stop you. If it's for you, it's for you. They can't stop you. Like the Dobbi apparel D. Yeah, I made that by accident.
You made it by accident.
I made it by accident, dog. I'm designing, and one of the things I don't do anymore, I don't take customers no more because it takes up a lot of the time that I need to put into my brand. So at this point, I don't take customers because a lot of the thing about the customers is a lot of customers are not where you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of people say, "Yo, don't be an interview or don't be on your live stream," but to be on your live stream, you got to groom them a certain way so that they don't mess up what you got going. Like you said, you had 300 subscriptions, now you got 3,000, right? But if you throw the wrong person on a situation, you might fumble that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of groom them into your situation. Your situation ain't their situation. So it's the same thing like how I used to do with designing. I used to kept taking customers thinking I was taking them to build my brand. But my brand, I'm not a graphic designer for hire. I'm a graphic designer for my brand. Right. So at this one time I had a customer and he wanted this elaborate design, something wild, crazy. And I'm telling him like, yo, the design could be done, but for a t-shirt, it's not gonna work. And he's like, oh, yo, you hating on me? I'm like, I'm not hating on you. I said, yo, before you sit there and say I'm hating on you, I said, yo, I'm gonna do the full design to a T. We're gonna do the mock-ups, we're gonna do the text, and I'm gonna send it to the manufacturer. I'm gonna pull him up on the phone, and he's gonna tell you. I said, because the design you're trying to make is not for a T. It's a graphic design, it's a visual design.
Mm-hmm.
To do visual design, you don't need everything don't gotta be on a t-shirt.
Exactly.
You just gotta be able to put it in front of your customer's eye though, but it don't gotta necessarily be on a t-shirt. Right? Did everything. Took me like to do the design his way, took me a month. To do the mock-up, to figure out what type of garment he wanted on, and blah, blah. It took like 3 months. So then when I finally got the manufacturer that wanted to entertain it, it broke their machine because you couldn't be done. Right? All right, so boom. So now he's like, yo, I don't want it. All right, yo, bet. So I had how it originally looked was nothing like how this looked. This is in the phase where I'm doing Illustrator. Hated Illustrator. Hated to a T because everything you do in Photoshop is different in Illustrator. Everything you do in Illustrator is different in Photoshop. Same visual concept, but different process, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting at the computer and I'm just clicking, clacking, and I came up with this D. Now, if you ask me how I did it, I couldn't tell you how I did it, but I saved it. Saved it. Yeah. I kept playing with it, and then I wound up sending it to my trademark lawyer. And once I sent it to my trademark lawyer, she's like, "Yo, like it's a go." So I'm like, "Ah, you'll bet." And that's pretty much where the Dobbi apparel D came from.
Damn, man, that's a whole lot of steps and a lot of processes that you have to go through just to imprint something on a shirt.
On a tee.
On the tee.
Yeah.
I can imagine on a hat, or I don't know. Do you also make designer shoes as well too?
I don't want to be in the shoe game because the shoe game is a different. It's a different machine.
Okay.
I'm a late bloomer on Nipsey, right? Mm-hmm. I never listened to Nipsey music, so I want to say maybe a year and a half before he passed over. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that he used to always talk about was like, yo, owning this and owning. Mm-hmm. So when I in the process of me rolling through, I'm big on owning my trademarks, my marks. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the Dobbi apparel, I also own a couple more. Because I'm not putting that on no fabric or out to the world for somebody else to use it. Because that's a business in itself, owning people trademarks and owning people domains. People sit in their cribs all day long and hoping that they could just wind up coming up on something on an error. You know what I'm saying? So before I print it on the shirt, or pants, or sock, I got my trademarks in. I don't want to get caught slipping because I know a couple of people personally that happened to. Like they think they running a full-fledged brand, but they never put their trademarks in. Somebody come along, they say they busted, they put their trademark in. And I offer them to keep using the same design, they gotta pay them.
Right. So yeah, it's definitely good to like even know about like just the behind the scenes, the business aspect, so that way like you could kind of keep your product intact and not have to try to pay for something that you already, came up first. So trademark is definitely it's definitely useful that even none of us even know how to trademark our stuff. You know what I mean? People say like, "Oh, well, I think you got to send a letter to yourself or something like that."
That's the poor man way to do it. See, I'm not big on doing it the poor man way. Because all the poor man way does is just show that you use it first, but that don't give you the necessary rights to use it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now, like I said at the beginning, right in the movement of going into the second year, I was lucky enough to actually come across a trademark attorney do Instagram. And she was solid. She took care of everything, even from when it was my other brand, Elefante. You know what I'm saying? So anything of that nature, even in COVID when I was calling myself trying to do everything myself. Here's the gem. No matter what type of entrepreneur you are, some things ain't for you to do yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Some things are for you to save up some money and have a professional do it. Because even though you could do it yourself, don't mean that it's done right. And that was the case in point with me. Yeah, I was doing it right,
Yeah.
but it was still wrong. And then I wound up having to pay double to actually have it corrected. Because the one thing with that trademark stuff, it don't come with no guidelines. They could sit you in front of the website to do it. It don't necessarily mean it's gonna be done right.
Okay. Yeah. And that's good to know, man, because like I said, people we're a lot of us, like, we're just misguided,
Misguided and creatures of habit.
Exactly.
Misguided and creatures of habit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So we gotta break those bad habits, man, and focus on getting educated, because the more educated you are, especially like when it comes to your craft and your business, the better the success will be. Success doesn't really come overnight. You gotta continue to build. Now, some people, like, are blessed with, like, maybe getting handouts, or talking to the right people that can help give you a boost. And I know earlier you were saying about, like, sometimes when it comes to, like, certain people, like, I know most of us got burnt by someone, and so
of course.
People get, like,
that's
super cautious.
That's part of the game, though.
Right.
Part of the game, though.
But the thing is that you have to, no matter what, you still have to continue to, like, push forward.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to personally trust a person, but as a business type of trust, you gotta at least, like, be open enough to allow, like, the person to give you some type of direction, or at least, hopefully, if you're networking or collaborating with someone, right? Hopefully the person could be a man or a woman to their word and hold true and help your business elevate as much as you're helping theirs out as well too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the best thing to do in business too, is to understand that people are always going to diversify their options, and they have the ability to. And if a person don't really know you, you can't really hold them to certain things. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand that they can switch on you at the drop of a hat, man. You got to be ready for it. And if you're not ready for it, it's gonna be hard, man. You're gonna face hard times. If you know them, that can still happen. But when you don't know them, it really can definitely happen, man. Like, it's the outcome of that is super high. Like, you just gotta be ready for it.
Yo, I could tell you a lot of times where I've got burnt by designers, I got burnt by manufacturers, I got burnt and misused by even people who I thought was friends. You know what I'm saying? And even at that time, I used to be like, damn, I used to be stuck on the fact that shit hurt my feelings. Now you gotta still stay the course. That's part of the story. That's part of your story. You gotta keep it pushing. What you tripping for? You supposed to be made for this. All right, put your big boy pants back on and get back in the game. All right, so what? They took a little bread. They took a little of your time. All right, it's still go time though. You know what I'm saying? The best information I got was the information that somebody didn't want to give me directly, because people don't understand how my mind works, and they don't know that I know how to use them search engines like that too. Matter of fact, to give you a quick story on search engine, is a certain design style I wanted to do, and that's another thing too. Another gem. Understand what your design is, so that way you can always know how to go and redo it or make it better. Because a logo don't just mean it's a picture or words, or just for it could be a phrase, anything like that. It could be box logo, it could be typewriter style, it could be anything. Understand what your logo is, so that way you can always redo the style. So I wanted to learn how to do this particular logo animation. I didn't know the name, so I'm on YouTube trying to search it. So, like, I want to say like 6 months later, it pops up on my YouTube search, and I'm like, and I didn't notice it. I didn't know what it was at first. Someone told me one day to watch it, so I'm watching it while I'm at work, and I'm like, oh, yo, I was looking for this. Like, I started jumping up, and I was like, I was looking for this because I've been paying people a whole bunch of money to do this particular thing for me, and I'm like, yo, there got to be a way for me to at least do 80% of this job myself. Boom, there you go. If it's anything you take from this today, Learn how to use a search engine. It'll save you a headache.
Yeah, and at least like cut down the expenses from the middleman.
Yo,
So,
if I show you my invoices from the first year, or me just being uneducated and just having a little bit of money just to spend, you be like, yo, what are you doing with your life? And how much do you really make at your job? I'm like, yo, bro, like it's been times where I ain't used lunch. I was allocating all my money to that. And I still gotta keep a crib. I gotta keep my crib up running. Like ain't nothing else going on. My kids still gotta get clothes. My kids still gotta be entertained. Wife still gotta be entertained. Like so, nah, ain't no full shorts over here. Like I had to really run this full steam ahead. It's been times where I ain't eat lunch. It's been times where I ain't even had food in my crib, but I still had to bust this move.
yeah,
I had to get it done.
man, that's real, man. Like, you know, I mean, but here's the thing, right? The benefits that we all learn from our mistakes. And the thing is, looking back now, it's like, okay, now you have the wisdom to try to teach someone else and tell them, like, yo, if you're going to go through this route, definitely learn the ways of searching. Do have research skills, because if not, you're gonna end up like paying with this. You'll end up paying with that.
You're gonna want to have to pay somebody else to do it. And one thing about at the particular social level of people that look like us, people like us don't like to pay us, right? But they'll rather pay somebody else to do it. And I'm like, yo, dog, listen to me. I'm gonna save you a whole bunch of money and a headache. I got people that tell me to this day, like, yo, I wish I would have just listened to you. Because such and such, I paid such and such a whole bunch of money to do it. They ain't do it. Pay your people, bro. Pay your people that you see doing the work, bro. Pay them. Let's say you're a headache. Everybody running the Fiverr. And Fiverr, you don't talk to them people like that. I've made some great relationships with people on Fiverr because I know how to shake hands. All the little people think, I know how to ask, yo, how your kids doing? Simple stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's what builds the rapport. I'm not in here to just do a transaction. I'm here to actually run a business. I'm not here to just talk to you one time. I'm here to actually, yo, let's build something outside of this so that, if need be, I can hit you direct. Because I'm going to send this back down to my peoples. Everybody around me eat. Everything around me grow. This is not just a job. This not no job or no hobby. And I'm not here just for no money. If it was just for the money, I wouldn't do this. Like, I actually love this. I love this.
Man, so my question to you, bro, is what were you doing before you got involved in this? Like, what was you doing before that?
I was just working.
I was doing retail and stuff like that. So
I was just working before by trade, outside of clothes. I'm a bus driver. All I do is drive the bus. You know what I mean? And
CDL bus driver or MTA?
Yeah, nah, MTA, CDL.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
MTA is it's like the city transit driver, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a bus driver myself, not the MTA, but like more like the CDL side, where
Okay.
I drive like for a particular district. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we're in the same field then. I'm actually getting ready to go and jump into my Class A because I gotta in a process of me, once again, shout out to COVID. In the process of me doing COVID, I came across some information about personal credit and business credit. You know what I mean? So I learned how to allocate the money for that, to pretty much do whatever it is I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I had to realize ain't nobody coming to save me, so I had to save myself.
Yeah.
So
you do have to save yourself, man. And I also have like relatives, right? That actually are their own boss of their own company. And I mean, of course, at that time, right, everything was a lot cheaper. But see, it was like down south. So but in California, you gotta have like a little bit of I forgot what it was, but it's something extra that you gotta have that makes the trucks a little bit more expensive out there. But when he started with his truck, first he worked for a company, saved up 10 grand, now this guy have like 4 trucks because over time he has people that could actually like work for him.
For him,
Yeah. So once you got the thing is, once you have people that works for you, everything else like becomes a lot more easier because now you're not utilizing a lot of your time. You're just pretty much like supervising. And I was trying to get up into the trucking because actually before I became a bus driver, I got up into like trucking, and I was so close to passing my CDL. But unfortunately, the day of, well, the day before, like going to the DMV, that night somebody broke into like, well, my train was on coke as well too, so that's another story. But somebody broke into a truck, little stuff got vandalized. I still wound up not passing anyways because I got confused as far as like parking certain cones, and at that time, like I was living like a busy life, so I didn't even have the time to even go back, and I already wasted my money on it. But the job that I work for now, I mean, they trained me to get my like Class B license, and even though like I don't have an A, but I still have opportunities, right, to even look for other positions that will like pay like way more. Just right now, I'm cool where I'm at because I mean, hell, like almost like every year or every 6 months we're getting a raise anyway. So I feel like by like like 5 more years, man, I'm gonna probably be catching up to them. If I stick around.
Hey, listen, you got sometimes, and even I had to learn this too. Everything ain't for you.
Yeah.
And you gotta be okay with that. As long as you're okay with that, can nobody tell you nothing? They can't long as you okay, as long as everything around you is okay, can nobody tell you nothing?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing.
Hey,
I want to get the A. I want to get the A just for the simple fact of I don't want to drive the trucks, but I can't tell nobody how to drive my truck if I can't drive the truck. So that's the whole reason why I want to get it. Other than that, nah, I ain't really. Even with my clothes, like I've gotten to the point where I don't even have to sit in front of a computer. I do everything from one of my 2 phones or email. I don't sit in front of the computer. Like I was just showing somebody recently because they was like, "Yo, I want to do this, but I don't know how to draw." And I'm like, "You don't gotta know how to draw. You just gotta know how to use the software." They're like, "What you mean?" I said, "Because if you know how to use the software, then you can tell the person what to do and how you want your vision to come alive." He's like, I was like, "I'll give you an example." So I showed him something I drew. I was like, "It was like chicken scratch donut." He was like, "Yeah." I said, "All right, now I'm gonna show you the design." He's like, "There's no way in hell that you drew that and it came out like that." I said, "That's because I knew the software." I said, "This is an hour job. I don't have time. I got 2 sons. They're 9 and 10. I don't got time to sit in front of the computer for no hour to do this." I said, "But I got a little paper. So I could pay somebody to do it." I knew how I wanted to look, so I found that designer. Me and this designer have worked together numerous times. So much so that I get a discount. It's like, "Yo, he did it for me." So I'm like, "All right, you'll bet." And that was that.
Shout out to all like the apps and programs that makes it so much easier where like you could just do things mobile and just get your work done out of the way. Like I'm gonna tell you this, Dobby, right? The intro that I played, that you saw, the music that you're hearing, right? All that is originally coming from us. You know what I mean? And
shout out to y'all.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. See, the thing is, like, for me, like, I mean, I did a little bit of art. You know what I mean? So technically, at this point, like, I'm a graphic designer. You know what I mean? But just for our own network. Right. So it was a lot of trial and error because before this YouTube stuff, I didn't know nothing about graphic arts, designing and all that. I didn't know how to put like little clips and videos like together. I had to go to YouTube University, but then at the same time, I had to do a lot of trial and error. So I made like a whole bunch of like hundreds of clips. You know what I mean? Until like I finally understood the formula and the system, and I used Canva to create like our graphic arts. Like the thumb, like I used other programs before Canva, but after Canva, like it was pretty much the works. It helped me to do my intros flawlessly. sometimes there's a little bit of bugs and problems or whatever. But we also have another member of our team named DJ Eddie, and he does like the instrumentals. Because I mean, I can't make beats, but I can put like stuff visuals together. And apart from that, let's just say like the social skills, right? Because here's the thing, I'm gonna say it like this, right? If you ever had any opportunity, right, to watch some of our streams, the past live streams, like we had to destroy to rebuild, and sometimes we may have to do that again, you know. But it's really hard to. I ain't gonna lie, man. A person that's like from the hood or from the streets, it's really hard to kind of keep your professionalism when you have like a lot of people on the internet that goes crazy, talk mad shit. You know what I mean? And you still have to keep your composure and keep it professional, Which
I was on Twitch not too long ago. Yo, the amount, like how they was talking crazy, I was like, yo. So I'm glad I'm a little bit more mature. I might have to go to somebody's crib because they all here talking crazy.
It's called trolling. It's called trolling, man. So
they all here talking crazy.
The trolling thing, they take it to they start saying a whole bunch of stuff, and trolling is just it's a new form of just talking smack, but they get really disrespectful.
Trolling is a business. Trolling is a business. They got people was making a whole bunch of money on trolling. Like there's no reason at this point in anybody's lives between the ages of 18 and 50 to talk about they ain't got no money. It's so much money out here. It's ridiculous. It's more money out here now than when we was coming up because the money don't require you to be seen. You just gotta allocate the time. You can allocate the time for it. You can make a whole bunch of money doing nothing. Literally nothing. And I got a shout out to the women that actually found the loopholes with the clothes and they making the boutiques. They found the loopholes with the business credit and the personal credit. They certified gurus with the correct information. Because the information is the same for personal credit and business credit. It's just all about where you fit in at it. And they killing it. You can't stop them. They killing it. Shout out to the homies that's doing it too. That's giving the right information. Because there's a lot of people that was giving out the wrong information or was giving out information that they wasn't using and it was missing steps. You can't miss steps in success. You gotta take the steps. Ain't no backdoor, ain't no it's only so many alley loops you can get that can propel you to be great. But it still requires you to take the necessary. You got to take the steps. Ain't no. It's not a certain amount of help that you can get that can prepare you to make you successful. Because you got to take you got to take your steps to do it. You ain't taking the steps, and it ain't the move.
Right.
I think with our people, there's only a certain amount of people that can really give you, generational wealth off top, and a lot of people are not accessible. You know what I mean? You ain't able to hit them up and they just able to bring you in the game. You know what I'm saying?
That's the correct word. That's the correct word, correct phrase. Accessible. A lot of people they're not at a certain point, even to me. I used to be, even just with with clothes or anything that I was considering was a hustle or success. Now at a certain point, you can't be accessible. You can't be because you're not accessible to waste time. To be around the people that's still trying to figure it out. You figured it out. So either you're going to do like they're going to do like you said, they're going to got the information, they're going to send it back, or you got to keep running your course. And at each point, you picking yourself is not wrong. And even the same thing with the talk about generational wealth, right? We don't come. A lot of us don't come from that, and then there's some of us that come from that, but they fumbled it, right? So now they got to figure it on their own. So now they got this bad taste in their mouth because they came from it, or they came from it just a little bit. And now they got to do all the work themselves. So now they pissed. Nobody will owe you nothing. Right. Like for me to be generationally wealthy, it would have had to happen to me 40 years ago. But see, those people that was in that predicament at that time. It was drug addicts or drug use or drug dealers. So the furthest thing for their mom was actually making sure their name was okay to go get a bank account to finagle the system to send it back to their sons, daughters, nieces, and nephews. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, even with generational wealth, don't nobody owe you that. It's easy now. You can go get it. You can have good credit, a 750 credit score. Go to the bank. You don't gotta go to the bank. You could go get 7, 8 cards, 5, 10K on it a piece. All right, you up. What you gonna do with it? That's the next step. Now you got the money to allocate to bust a move. What you gonna do next? What you gonna buy, designer? Because that's what they're gonna do next. A person that don't have the education on economics, there's a difference between money and economics. A lot of people deal with money. Successful people they gonna always switch it and go deal with the economics. So if I'm gonna spend 5K, how am I gonna get 3,000 of that back, or how I'm gonna double it? If it ain't doubling it, I'm not spending no money. I know I'm in factories with Louis Gucci Prada. I know what it costs to make their stuff. They beating you on the head. It's not even real leather. All they gotta be is 1% leather for them to say it's 100% genuine leather.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it ain't real leather. So AKA they cut their costs.
Let me say this, family, in regards to generational wealth or people, even when it comes to the philosophy of people owning stuff and things of that nature. You know, every great person that I've seen in life, they've come from somebody, right? You look at Robert F. Kennedy, his father was a huge entrepreneur, right? Like he had businesses, he had a lot of things, and then through his father's hard work, he was able to become president and everything else. I'm reading this book called Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene, and now I'm in a chapter where he's talking about Howard Hughes Jr. and how he took the money from Howard Hughes Sr.
That book is a gem. I read it.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's that, like, you know, we have to understand, you know, where we need to get our resources from, and who owes us what and what needs to be paid. You know what I mean? If you live in another culture, or if you're from another culture, you know what I mean, the kids of that culture, you know what I mean, are first, and they make sure that they're taken care of, and they make sure that they're made something for, so that when they get older, they're able to bring on a family name, or basically bring on more things to make sure that nation is thriving, right? You know what I mean? So in other cultures, when they come here, right, they're gonna make sure that they're giving that all the allowances that are owed to them, they're taking it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's a person that's Jewish, right? And they come here and their family was affected by the Holocaust, and they know they're gonna get money from the US government as far as assistance, they're taking that money. You best believe they're gonna take that money. We gotta get out the mindset of not wanting to take that money. Because the thing is, the money on the table for you. Take the money. Don't let your pride hold you back, man.
That's because we still dealing with the backlashes of our parents of slavery. Don't nobody want to take the handout. Everybody want to do it their way. No, dumb. Because they giving you the money. They gonna give you the bread. Take the money and boss up. It's the same reason why everybody can't be a business owner, because you gotta pay the taxes. We from the hood. With the first thing they tell us with the taxes, claim this amount, do this, do that, so you can get the most off the tax return, so that you can ball January, February, March, and be broke April, May, June. No, stupid. You don't do that. You don't do that, okay? Tell these people, tell the truth, take your crumbs, because it don't cost a bunch of money. Everybody talking, get a house, right? All right, so everybody talking, get a house. To allocate $1 million crib, you only need $50K. You do not need $1 million to allocate $1 million crib. You need $50K to get you in the door. If it's a 600, if the crib is 600,000, all you need is 10K, 10 to 15, 16K to get you in the door, to get the ball rolling. A little bullshit, a little BS credit, a little bit of money in the bank, have no negatives on your debt to income ratio. They're gonna give you the crib. They're gonna give you you're gonna pay the high interest rate, of course, because you ain't coming in there spectacular. But guess what? You ain't gotta live there. You can jack up the rent, save the bread, refinance 2 years, take the refinance bread, go do it again.
Man, you are dropping a lot of valuable gems, man. Like,
man, hit the air horn, man. Please, man.
For real, like, you know, I had the notion that, you know, we're gonna be talking about clothes and all that, but you are actually talking about some really high level stuff right now.
It's bigger than clothes. I do the clothes now because I love it. I'm really good at it. I design because I'm really good at it. But the bigger picture, like, nobody that's done clothes, Louis Gucci Prada ain't selling you clothes. They're not selling you bags. They're selling you a lifestyle. When you look at their lifestyle, what they live in. They on the yachts. They in LA. They on the west side at the penthouse, right? So first thing, an uneducated person is looking at the money. They looking like, oh nah, they bags is selling. The economic person like, yeah, they took a lot of their bread and they put it back, like D said, they put it back into their people. They put it back into their family. Their kids ain't never got to work no job. The kids ain't even got to go in there and stitch no bags. They could go in there and tell somebody what to do.
Yeah.
This ain't rocket science, man. It's easy.
I always tell people it's about working smarter, not harder, man. It's like life is, especially in America, it's about, you know, a lot of times we think that, you know, oh, you gotta grab yourself up by the bootstraps, or you gotta hustle so hard. It's like, for us, yes, because we don't have it. We don't have it like that. A lot of us don't have it like that. But for those who do, for those who do, their kids, like you said, they're not missing no holidays. They ain't missing no birthdays. They don't even know what a bad neighborhood looks like. They have no idea because they're on the highway, so they drive past everything. So they never seen a bad neighborhood ever.
My kids eat ramen noodles and they're like, oh my God, Dad, this is so good. Like, yo, where we come from, ramen noodles, man, we ain't had no food in the crib. I don't even eat ramen noodles. Or let me not say I don't eat ramen noodles. If I eat ramen noodles, I don't use the seasoning pack. I have my own seasoning to it. I add strength to it. I'm doing all right. Like, yo, dog, this not hard. I watched my mom's work a job for 36 years.
Wow.
You think about it. Guys at my job, right? Highest earning dudes at my job. They're making over 100K, right? So you think about it. Every 5 years, they made $500,000. Where your money going? Now we talk about economics. So now where your money going? Where your money going?
Man,
buying a crib not for everybody. Let's just put it out there. Buying property, real estate, that's not for everybody, right? Because you can have a little bit of money to control a lot of money, but you also got to have the mindset and will set to not spend the money. Because you got to put the money back into the property. All right. So it's not for everybody, right? All right. If you're making every 5 years, you're making $500,000, right? What you doing with your money? You put in a Roth IRA, put $500 in that a month. Because cash alone is nothing now. I got people in my contact list as millionaires. They're not good on paper, so they can't do nothing. So you got $1 million, you can't do nothing with it. Can't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
You can't reinvest. You can't do nothing. What you doing? So you make $500,000 a year. I know Cass does not even. I know Cass is making 80. He's making a little under a half. What you doing with your money? I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. Like I could care less, but I think economics. So what you doing with your money? Don't sit here and tell me like it was hard because it's not hard. It ain't hard. I got depends on my head. Say life is easy. That's my other brand. Life is easy. It's all about how your brain thinks. How you think. Yeah, you could eat red lobster every day. Eat red lobster. I'm over 200 pounds, so I go to Red Lobster. I'm spending $40. So you spending $40 every 5 days?
Yeah,
you got it. Yeah, you can have it. You can have it. I ain't spending no $40 on no food. It cost me $42 to fill up my tank in my car. Yeah, I'm not doing that, dog. But if that's, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to just tell you your life is easy. It's all in your mindset. All in the mindset. It's all in how you break it down.
Man, you know, I definitely appreciate this conversation right now, man, because I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, like earlier, you know, like sometimes, man, you feel like a point like, damn, man, like I'm at a point I'm about to like be defeated. You know what I mean? Especially like you invest your money into the stock or whatever, or you just looking back like, damn, right? Like I was once out of debt, now I'm back in debt, got out of it, went back in, now I'm trying to crawl my way right out of debt. You know what I mean? And I know I could get out, but it is the mindset, right? But it's also the discipline as well too, like being able to just having that will to like yield and sacrifice. You know what I mean? And so,
but that's the game, though.
Yeah,
that's the game of it. You know how many people that don't look like us that I know that's in debt? They still living on the west side. They still living good. Because debt by itself is $1 million business. When you get a credit card, you max out the card, you don't pay it. The interest rate is what the financial institutions get paid off of, right? All right. Okay. All right. That's why they tell you when you get your card, don't go below 20 to 30% of the card. Because that's when they catch you. They already know that's when they gonna catch you. You at 30%, or you was down bad. He gonna keep swiping. And 9 times out of 10 people keep swiping. All right. That's the game. That is the game. Credit wasn't even supposed to be for us. That was for merchants, bro. That wasn't for us. The drug dealers messed that up.
Yeah.
Scarface, Al Capone, they messed that up. They had so much. They had more cash than the banks. So the feds had to come in and figure out, like, all right, yo, bet, how do we catch them? Like I said, you can have $1 million in cash, but you're not good on paper. You don't really have $1 million. How you gonna clean that? How you gonna clean it? You can't, because now you got to put the money in somebody else's name, and they don't owe you loyalty at that point. Did you give somebody who don't have $1 million $1 million to clean up? All right.
Yeah.
Want to welcome one of our family members in our relationships, Queen. Queen, what's going on?
What's up,
we got
Queen?
Dobbi Apparel here. Do you have any questions for Dobbi Apparel? What's going on, Queen?
I just want to say, I'm gonna go back and watch the replay over and over. The things you're saying is so much more than what I thought it was going to be. Thank you for dropping these gems and coming up on knowledge and relationships.
No problem.
I do want to ask, I don't know if you touched on this because I've been in and out, so I've been watching and I had to walk away a few times. When you do the when you said about the trademark lawyer, you said you just stumbled upon this person on Instagram?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
I used to ride. I used to be heavy into motorcycles at one point, and there's this high-end motorcycle helmet company. Like, they using leather, they using ostrich skin on their hats and everything like that. Blah blah blah. It's a really nice motorcycle helmet, right? So what wound up happening was I kept seeing he kept particularly posting this individual, and she just so happened to be the person that helped him with his trademarks. So wound up doing, watching her page and trying to figure out, if she was really worth the money. And that was actually one of the best decisions I made as far as that. Because it cost me some money to actually run a trademark, because I gotta pay the state, I got to pay her, and then I gotta wait. But I'm paying somebody professionally to do something that I can't allocate the time to. And she's been perfect. So shout out to Dana.
Nice. That was all. I mean, I have some other questions, but
Go ahead, Queen.
No. I mean, I don't put my business on YouTube, so I'll reach out to Mr. Best and he can reach out to you and we go from there. But I'm a fellow New Yorker. How you doing? Big Apple baby. I'm a queen
You already
from
know.
Queens. I'm from
Yo,
yep.
Jamaica Ave.
Southside Jamaica,
God,
baby.
bro. God, bro, what up?
Jamaica Avenue. There you go.
Oh my God.
Rochdale, what up? What up, Rochdale?
Oh yeah, Rochdale. Oh Lord. But that was it, Thank you. Thank you for being on here, sharing your knowledge, and congratulations.
No,
Keep
no
doing what
problem.
you're doing, and
if I help one person, make the navigation easier, then I did my job. I'm not tripping.
yeah.
Thank you.
But it is true. It is a mindset, because
Salute to Love Shack XL. What's going on, sister?
there are people who are making 30, 40,000 a year, and they living fine. It's all about the mindset with what you do with what you get.
Success is not to calculate the success of the Jay-Z's, the Dame Dash, the Oprah Winfrey's, the Barack Obamas, even the Donald Trumps, the Joe Biden, so forth and so forth. That requires a lot of selfishness. If you're not willing to be selfish, it ain't for you. Point blank period. It ain't for you. I had to digest that. Like, all right, this is what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna have to cut you off. I'm gonna have to be cutthroat with this. I'm gonna have to be wild, stingy with my time. I'm gonna have to. If you're not emotionally, if you're not willing to do it, it ain't for you. You gotta be okay with that, though.
I remember. I know this is like an extreme case, but I remember when I was in college, I was working at a bank, and there was a gentleman who came in who lived on the beach, homeless guy, right?
Uh-huh.
And nobody wanted to help him. He wasn't smelling the best, but he came to my window. And when I say the amount of assets he had and all kind of stuff from, inheritance, whatever. And it was crazy because he was like, you're probably wondering why I choose to live this way. He said, I live a minimalist lifestyle and I don't need those things.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, maybe I need to hang out with you because, what's in these accounts is crazy.
I used to work. This is real talk. I used to work for the Department of Consumer Affairs, right? That's in New York City. That's the licensing center for businesses, restaurants, home improvement, whatever. I used to work there. I worked there for 11 years. And when I tell you I had to look at people who didn't know how to write their name, they couldn't speak English, they didn't have no IDs. But when I'm looking at their bank statement, and I'm looking at the type of money these cats got, and they looking at you looking at them, I'm like, yo, I'm making $35K a year, bro. I don't even know how I be paying my rent every month. You sitting here in front of me, don't know nothing. I've been taught to go to school. You ain't go to school for nothing. I ain't doing something right. And a lot of them will tell you, yo, I had to save. And once they save, you don't gotta eat fine dining every Friday, every 2 weeks when you get paid. It's alright to be like, nah, I ain't got it. It's okay to say no. No. Yes, somebody said the other day, yo, yes is expensive. And it's true. Yes is expensive.
Yeah, but I think what you said is true. It's like we have the mindset of when we get a few dollars, we gonna go give those other people our money to wear their label that, like you said, cost them nickel and dimes to make, but we paying $500,000 for a purse. For what? For what? Because they don't care about us. And then the purse, it wears out just like any other purse. Look, let me help you out. So I'm gonna say something, right? So when I come, I'm on the West Coast, but I'm from the East Coast, right? So whenever I would visit home during the summer when I was in college, I had a bunch of roommates because rent's crazy. There used to be a game that my roommates played. So when I would come back, I would pull stuff out of my suitcase and it was like, guess how much? Because they couldn't believe what I was paying for the stuff that I was getting, right? Pull a purse out. They'd be like $30, $20. I'd be like $2. They was like, no way. Yup, $2. Pull this out, But it's just like, it's not always about, wearing somebody else's name on my back. Like, that's my goal. I'm working on a lot of things behind the scenes. And I think, the one thing I try to do is support the designers that you don't hear about. That's, the Courtney Washingtons, the Moose Shoot in Brooklyn, stand up. You know
you
what
talking
I mean?
that talk.
Yes.
Fulton Street.
Yes.
You talking that Fulton Street talk.
Yes. You support those kind of people, and when you wear it, people don't even know what you're wearing because they don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? I'm not into, the I'm not gonna name drop, but those overpriced people.
I get it. I just went actually to 28th Street. I wanted a Nike Tech, right? But Nike charged you $300 for the together top and bottom. I went with the same Nike Tech with the same material with no name on it, and it cost me $30.
Yeah, and a lot of these, the young girls, I do when I go to like the different pop-up shops, there's the places where they can buy it in bulk for cheap, and they put their label. Hey, I ain't hating on you. I'm gonna support you. You doing what's best for you. What so many people do, but don't nobody really pay attention to that because it's not those famous letters or that famous designer or whatever. They getting it from the same sweatshop. Everybody
the same spot. But see, this is where your brand visualization come into, right? Because if everybody know what your brand look like, they're gonna always buy it, no matter what it is, good material or not. And that's where the top brands are winning at. Because no matter what they put out, they know they can allocate over 10,000 sales of this one particular item. So they're going to be good. They're not worried about that. Only thing you got to do is go get you some. That's it. Go get you some. Figure it out. Figure out what they gain. You could go on Google and search what was such and such marketing strategy. They will tell you what their marketing strategy was. And if you got a little bit of time and some money, you could copy it. You do the same thing they did.
It's crazy.
The power of a tax ID number. You got a good tax ID and an EIN, you good. You could run a marketing campaign. Instagram and Facebook do it for you. You got it right at your fingertips. There's no excuse for nobody to talk about ain't no money out here. You can do it at your fingertips. I ran $10 ads. I ran $1,000 ads. You feel me?
That's right. So anyway, so I just, it's a lot going on, but it's cool. I got a
hear it in your voice. You're gonna be good.
I got a whole another mindset. I've been working on some things for a while, and there's a lot of things about to pop off, and I got to prepare myself to be ready. I'm hungry.
That's it.
So, and I ain't got
that was
time
one of the
for
things
drama
I wasn't ready for.
The back and forth, the unproductive conversation and relations. Like, I ain't got time for unproductive conversations and relations.
And
no pun intended, knowledge and relationships.
It's not
I got a message to N3. You quiet over there.
I'm working behind the scenes,
I know you are. You're always thinking about the next move. But so it was, so I have is this the logo that I've seen you wear hat 84?
No, that's something else. That's something else.
That's something else? Oh, okay.
That's something else. Yeah. Salute to the other homie as well. Yeah.
Because I was going to ask how'd you come up with that logo. But anyway, different person. But thank you for gracing us with your presence. I ain't really got nothing else to say. I just came up here because I was like really, really into what I was hearing. So that's all. Thank you.
No,
Thank
I
you for
appreciate you, man. You gonna be good. You
yeah,
just gotta
well,
be ready. You gotta be ready for when your success pop up because you're gonna be tired, but you gotta keep it pushing.
I'm ready. I'm tired. I'm tired of clocking in for somebody else and
It,
working hard for
it,
some.
it, Ain't nothing
I
wrong with
want to
that.
work
Ain't
harder
nothing
for
wrong with that
myself.
though. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Because guess what?
Yeah,
That money and that time allocate you to do something better.
you're right.
So
You're right about that.
don't look at it with no ill will or malice behind it. Because it's somebody that want to do what you do. So don't let them get in that spot.
You're right. Ain't nobody taking my spot. This is my
That's right.
spot. Right. You hear that,
Talk that
M3?
talk.
It's my
Talk
spot.
that talk, you heard?
Look, Queen, you got this, you know. Hey, you know, we're all counting for you.
Hey, let me this crown and this
Oh
throne
my
only
gosh.
fit one body. That's it. That's it.
Right.
You keep doing this. We're gonna stop letting you up here. You keep doing this. We're gonna stop letting you up here. You keep.
What did I do? I ain't do nothing.
I don't know.
Don't be threatening me, 84, because I can't get to you right now because you know where I'm at. But you know I can get to you anytime. Don't play with me.
No.
I'll pin drop you. Don't make me Google drop you. No, stop. Anyway,
not the Google.
No, I ain't gonna do that. But anyway, thank you. You guys carry on. You know, like I said, I just popped in. You know, and yeah, I would love to pick your brain about some stuff behind the scenes. I can maybe connect with you and 84. Some questions
I'm available.
I have.
So this holler at me. It's so good. No.
Yeah, that's your brother.
Nothing.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's your brother. I'm sorry.
No, it's so good.
Also,
whatever, man.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But
real
you know,
quick, yeah.
But it's all good.
Real quick for those. All right, Queen.
Yeah, I'm out because y'all, you know. Y'all keeping it saucy. I gotta go. I got things to do and people to see. Bye.
All right, well, don't get in trouble, you know.
Later, Queen.
But real quick for those who wants to pick Dobbi's brain some more. If you want to follow him, please follow him on IG. Okay. Dobbi, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Dobbi Appeller. If I'm saying it right. Is it IE or LE?
LE.
Oh, LE. Okay.
The LE is for Life is Easy. That's my other brand. They both it's over the same thing.
All right, so don't get confused. Not IE, but it's LE. So go ahead and give them a follow, like on Instagram. Miss OG Patrice had a question. I don't know if she's still up here, but OG Patrice, let me know if you're still here. I think she was here something about Macy's because she said, "Is it true that most of, if not all, of the Macy's stores are closing?" So that was one of the questions that she asked. Actually, I think that was the first question in chat for the evening. And you know what? I think we could drop the link to the live stream. So if anybody has a question that you want to ask Dobbi, right? About business, his clothing line, definitely come up. I'll post the link in just a few minutes. All right. Well, a few seconds, I'll say. But yeah, okay. Damn, man, like I ain't gonna lie, Dobbi, man, you was busting like gyms after gyms after gyms, right? And
because I'm here for the people, B. I've did it, so I've done it, so I could talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm on a coast right now. It's pretty much nothing that I can't do. You know, and I used to sit up late at night like that, trying to figuring out what I needed to do, and now I'm to the point where it's nothing I can't do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm here. I'm a vessel. If I don't know it, I'll find it. I'll get back to you. So I ain't stressing it. You know what I mean?
And see, and this is what separates, right, the weak from the strong. Because see, here's the thing: it's all about, man, just being consistent. You know, determination. As long as you're being consistent on your work, and here's the thing: like I said before, some will blow up like within days or months. Some may take like years. But the thing is, like, it's all about the grind, right? Like I said, when you said like 10 years, man, a lot of people don't even know what to do 10 years from now. You know,
No, it goes by fast. It goes by dumb fast.
Yeah, and most networks, like, they didn't get their foot off until like around like that same type of year, like that time frame, where like stuff is starting to get good for you. OG Patrice asks another question. She says, "Is it hard getting distribution for your clothing line?"
It's two questions in that one question. You can't ask if it's hard if it's getting distribution for your clothing line, because there's so many manufacturers that can make clothes for your clothing line. So to answer your question, I'm gonna have to ask a question. Where are you visually with the product? Like, do you know how to cut it? Like, whatever. Let's say if it's shoot. Let me see. Let me take a guess. Let me take a hard one. Leggings, because women are cut so beautifully different. How these particular leggings are cut may not look good on this woman, but it may look good on another woman. But there's a certain way you can cut leggings to make it look good on every woman, right? At that particular cut, that requires a certain manufacturer to make it like that, right? So even when they cut it like that, it's still a 30-day wait to make your leggings. At the lowest MOQ, production-wise, is 50. So to make 50 of anything, they're always going to tell you it's a 21-day to 30-day wait for the product line to finish. Then they got to ship it. Depending on how much it weighs, it may take 2 weeks. It may take a month for you to get it. You know what I'm saying? This is where being ahead of the curve comes in, because that's where I'm at. You got to be ahead of the curve to do this. So that's why a lot of clothing brands, they do it by the season. Like we in winter. I'm doing my summer run in the winter. So once I finalize everything in the next 2 weeks, it'll be shipped off. I probably won't get it to the end of February, middle of March to have it for summer. You know what I'm saying? So you can't. That's a question within a question with a subject, with a sub, whatever you want to call that in that. So is it hard? I ain't gonna say it's hard, but it's time consuming. Because just because you got 20 manufacturers to make your t-shirt don't mean that they all follow the same guidelines. But you gotta know 100% of their job before you even go into their factory. Because if you don't have a mock-up, if you don't have a tech pack, don't go there. They're gonna rob you.
Gotcha. She also says, "Are you strictly online, or do you have a physical address?"
I'm strictly online, but I do deliveries. I'll come to you. You need me to send you a picture of how something cut, or to see how I look, I'll send it to you. I'm very reachable. All my information is on my IG page, my website, everything like that.
Okay. Speaking of website, Dobbi, can you in the private chat, can you text us like your website so then I could post it to the public?
Sure. Give me a second.
No problem. That was one of the things I forgot to pull up, because I'm going to do a screen share so people could see what your website look like.
Gotcha.
And we do this right now in the YouTube chat. So okay, give me about a second, guys. All right. So what I'm doing right now, I'm loading up Dobbi's website. Okay. So again, Darby wait, how do I pronounce it again?
Apparel.
All right, thank you. So DobbiApparel.com. Now let me go ahead. I'm gonna click on YouTube won't let me click. Okay. Let me do this real quick. All right, I'm gonna do a screen share. I don't know why YouTube's not allowing the link to be clickable, but as you guys can kind of see, you guys can kind of type it in. So let me show you guys his work of art. So go to DobbiApparel.com, and then
click catalog.
Okay, we're gonna go down here, right? You see like the mouse? Okay, hold on, Google. And then we'll click catalog. And then this is where like you'll see like most of like pretty much the designs. Oh, let me see how it's looking right now. Okay. All right. So you got like the tiger shirt tee. Okay. Dobby's apparel tee. Let me see. You even
That's
got the
right.
hats as well too.
Yep, life is easy. That's the hat.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hat. That's the hat that got me into making hats.
Okay. Let me click on see if I can blow it up. Okay. So pretty much like this is where it all starts, right? Get that motivation in. So check out his hats. Like if you're like a hat person, definitely support him. Matter of fact, as black folks, man, let's support black. Make sure that we lift each other up. Salutes to Gray Pill Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. All right. And let's see. One size fits all. Snapback adjustable. All right. Okay, let me see. We even got the sock.
Yeah, I even did my own sock, all that. I do all that. Yo, as far as the design process go, that's all me. Did all that myself. Sourcing the fabrics. That's all me, kid.
Wow. Hey,
I definitely gotta have that. I gotta have that hat for the summer. Gotta have that hat for the summer. Definitely going down.
You even gotta ask, kid. I'm gonna send it to you. Don't even stress it. I'm gonna send it to both of y'all. Don't even stress it.
For sure. I gotta cop this hat, man, because especially if that's the hat that gave you like the motivation, man, and got you started. I gotta represent that,
That I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing about hats because a baseball hat is cut different from a basketball hat. A basketball hat is cut different from a soccer hat. And we indeed from New York, so our graduation hat is the Yankee fitted, Yankee snapback. That's our hat, and I had to cut my hat. I had to cut my hat the same way because that's the reference. You know what I mean? So I didn't know nothing about that hat. I didn't know how to measure it, and I got a shout out to my manufacturer that put me on game and told me how to measure it. Told me the tools to buy so I could get the correct measurements. Showed me how to do the mock-ups to tell them how I wanted it, so forth and so forth, in the tech pack. So that was the hat that pretty much set it off for me. So one time for LE.
Man, that's what's up, man. And I like it too. Like it's very nice. It's simple. Like you know what I mean. Like like it doesn't have like too many like designs that as I said, that overcuts or overshadows, like the logo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
right.
Well, for me, I like to wear things that nobody else wears, man. Like if nobody rocking it, like I definitely like to rock it because I know nobody's wearing it. You know what I mean? Like I know nobody's gonna rock it, so I'm like,
that's my focal point. I never want nothing that I make to look like nobody else. Never. Even if I do something and I see somebody else, it's similar to what I'm doing. I won't make it. I won't drop it because I never want to have that conversation.
Hey, Cindy.
It's so many of us that are actually doing this, and it's like it's kind of somewhat oversaturated. So you gotta kind of make sure whatever you put out hit.
Yeah, I get you though. It's a little shitty. Thank you for stopping by. Definitely appreciate you for doing so. It's just good to see you too, 84. So
hey family.
Yeah, shout out to the ones that's stopping by for a minute, giving us support. So appreciate it. All right, and let me see what else. So KR, absolutely. All right. And also everyone, like if y'all still sticking around. Please make sure you guys share this video to like your friends, because right now, like Dobbi, like he's pretty much pouring out like a whole lot of good gems right now. This site that I just showed you guys, right, is pretty much Dobbi apparel.com, and basically like he does like run like a clothing company, He has hats. He has like t-shirts. He even has socks. You know what I mean? And shorts. So definitely like check out his website. And where did I put his IG at? I thought I saved it real quick. And if you want to follow him, so I give about a minute to really pull up. Hold on, let me do this in the back because I still have your IG in the background. Dobbi Apparel, Dobbi Apparel LE on IG. So
yeah, Dobbi Apparel.le on IG.
Sorry, .le on IG. So
it's pretty much that's my social media name on everything. It's the same thing.
Right.
But IG's the hub though. IG is where you find everything at.
Okay. So yeah, man, check out his IG so that way you get the whole scoop of things, And
Exactly.
if you have any inquiries, hit him up. Like he's definitely a cool, down to earth brother, man. So, all right, man. This is what I like about these talks, man, because even though we have our preset,
I can tell you got wild things you wanna bring up. Throw it out there, dog. Throw it out there.
All right, you know what? Okay, let's get to the nitty-gritty because I know it's we're at the 1 hour and 33-minute mark, and I know your time's getting close to like 12 or something or 11. So I don't want to hold you
close. No, don't worry about it because I gotta fight to catch. So I'm up anyway. So let's do it.
All right, man. So let me go ahead and drop the music real quick. All right, we're gonna get to it. I know it's gonna be fire, right? Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and pull this up. All right, Mr. Best, you ready? All right.
We going to the other time?
Man, we're going there, man. Look. We're gonna call the crowd
Salute Daryl Long, man. I see you, Daryl. I see you.
Okay. Salute Daryl Long. Thank you for tuning in. All right. So here we go. Right. So should women be submissive to men? For your women, I'm gonna just play this.
Should women be submissive? That's a very, very thick piece of cake to cut, right? And I'm gonna only say it for the simple fact of a lot of women never seen their father's love properly by their mother, and a lot of sons never seen their father's love properly by their mother, no vice versa, right? So you can't ask a woman to be submissive to you where you don't pay attention to understand how to take care of her. Go both ways. You want her to listen, right?
Yeah.
But you ain't willing to listen neither. And I know from as in being a man, I come from everywhere like, be quiet. You know what I'm saying? It took a very long time for me to understand how to pay attention to a woman's needs emotionally. Because they're emotional creatures. But if you can understand her just a little bit, you can kind of get her to do whatever it is you want her to do for you.
Kind of like cracking the code, huh?
It's got to be a balance, right? Like, it's got to be to a point
really
where,
cracking the code. It ain't really cracking the code. It's really more of understanding you're crazy. You can understand you're crazy. You good.
Oh, okay. We're going there. All right.
I mean, because like every man wants to feel like a man in a relationship. Like I don't want to have to always have to go back and forth, with the woman I'm with. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, like I need to feel like I'm a man in a relationship, and if you are not allowing me to be that, and it's always some back and forth, or you always just want to, oh well, I got this and I got that, and I ain't got listen. It's like that's kind of it just makes it harder on the relationship. Like
even at that point, it's not a relationship. If the first thing every time you get your rough, he say, "Well, I got this and I ain't got this to you," I wouldn't bet, nigga. Dip. What we doing? Why we wasting time? I'm not here to keep bumping heads with you. I'm not looking to be right. I'm just looking to be heard. If you can hear me, I can hear you.
Wow,
that's a key point.
That I like right there. I like that one right there. Yeah.
Let me break this down real quick, right? Because here's the problem. if women, in my opinion, right? Okay, if women don't listen, men are not being heard. And then when men are not being heard, then it's like the gentle side of men doesn't really come out. You kind of get like that rough side where it's almost like you think that we hate y'all, but we really don't. Some of us are just really frustrated, well, most of us, because I feel like there's like a communication barrier. You know what I mean? Barrier. So it's like there's a line that we're both trying to communicate, but we're just trying to tell y'all something that's simple, but it's maybe you're not understanding us because you're looking at things through your own lens. And I understand that, as they all say, men are for Mars, women are from Venus. That type of analogy. And we all have we all have a different mindset of things. But here's the problem, right? We get caught up in shaming one's opinion, whereas like your opinion is not only validated, but it's also feel like you have the need to disrespect and to try to correct a man's point of view. And that's the same thing for like a man trying to correct a woman's point of view. Instead of just having conversations like as adults and really talking things through by just listening first, listening all the way without interruption, think about it, and then try to present where you're coming from. But because of so much pent up hostility, you know what I mean? Like it's always going to come off as if we're constantly going to have this gender war. And so it's funny because like we ask these questions to women who are in church, religious. We ask this question to, like all types, to feminists, even some of the ones who are like pygmies. And it really is really interesting that when we ask that question, kind of like a direct type of way, they all get stuck for a minute. As if like, we're pretty much saying like, hey, are you willing to be a man's slave as opposed to a man's helpmeet, assistant, partner? And I think even if we're explaining that, it's like they can't get the slave part, the dominatrix part out of their minds.
That's because the word slave is so harsh. Don't come messing with me and think you gotta be my slave. I don't want you to be my slave. I come already 90% already able to take care of myself. I don't pretty much need you for. I only really just need you for the one thing. But if we gonna build with each other, it gotta be some give and get here. If you're not willing to put it like this, women get into a relationship, and this is why a lot of men don't want to get married now, because being married don't really work for no man, right? To the eye, it don't work for no man. He marry you, put you in the crib, tell you don't work, give you a baby, it don't work. All his hard work go to you. So,
facts.
In the government eyes, it don't, for a man, it don't work, right? But then on the flip side, there's a lot of people that are married that are thriving because of the simple fact of they're not looking at it as a point of this is a man's job or this is a woman's job. Some households got to be 50-50, dog. Some got to be 60-40. You know what I'm saying? But that comes with a conversation. And a lot of people don't have the conversation because a lot of men go into relationships and want to be the dominant. But in order to be dominant, yo, dog, you got to have some bread. The more money you got, the faster she shut up. And that's just facts. That's just facts. The more money you got, the faster she shut up. And the same thing goes for women. If a woman messes with a man and he ain't got no bread, yo, dog, you gotta play the role, fam.
But we gotta understand what submission means. The key word is submit, right? Like as kids, we had to submit our will, right? So now you asking a person that's now an adult to submit their will at again as an adult, which is hard. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that for women. It's just an easy thing. Like they just gotta snack, crackle, and pop and be submissive. You know what I mean? I know that it's hard for them to do. Especially if they don't really know if that man is the right guy or he really gonna really be there or whatever. You know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean? I understand why it can be a challenge or why they don't necessarily want to do it. but they also understand the essential meaning of why they should do it and why that should be required, why men ask of that. But another thing to go along with that is the simple fact of when men and women are dealing with each other, like you said, a lot of times we don't have those examples, right? So we haven't seen those examples, we haven't grown up with those examples, so we don't really kind of know what that looks like. So we don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. We don't know what having two healthy people in the house really look like. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we kind of we like an artist that's throwing paint at the wall. You know what I mean? We throwing paint at the wall and we just hoping that a masterpiece just comes out of it. Mm-hmm. And it ain't that simple. Life is not like that. Without a plan, you're gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know in which direction you're moving it. You know what I mean? And not only that, I think for women also, you know what I mean? I know a lot of times, yes, you know, they don't want to be stuck with, you know, kids that they have to be left with and taken care of. They don't want to be stuck in certain situations, but men don't want to be stuck either. You know what I mean? No. So it has to be a fact where we actually are understanding, you know, where each other's coming from, you know, the things that we both have to deal with and having those conversations. Not making fun of each other, not putting each other down, none of that. Because when we do that, it takes away from us really building a stable home and us building really a stable environment for the kids, for us, and just for each other. At the end of the day, you know, the one thing we don't think about is that we all gonna get old one day. You know what I mean? We all gonna get old. And once we get old, now the game get real. You know what I'm saying? Because now you old. So who really gonna be there for you? You know what I mean? Who's gonna be there for you? You know what I'm saying? When I see them older couples and they be helping each other, get in the car and they be helping each other with the grocery, they be helping each other walk and get around, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. But when I see an old person, they struggling and ain't nobody there to help them, and then I got to go over there and help them, that's sad. You know what I mean? That's real sad.
Bess, you mind if I chime in on this one? Because that's a good point that you made. Now, shout out to AMS for this one, Alpha Male Strategies. But this what he said, like in one of his private videos. He was like, you know, he at least want to see someone, right? If you never really been in a relationship with a person, like, you know, like a committed relationship, at least he want to see a man, like, you know, experience like love. And if a man has never experienced that type of love from a woman or from anyone, he said he actually feels sorry for him. You know, at least experience it once. Because the thing is, love can actually be a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? If you are with the right person for you. And, you know, which I don't think a lot of people understand why some people get married. You know, in a space where people could say, oh, you know, you don't have that much options, so that's why you chose marriage, or, you know, you're missing out on this bachelor's life. But look, you know, most men, like, look, I'm gonna put it like this. You know, we have options that we could actually enjoy the bachelor's life, or if we find the right person, what's the point of going out from one woman to the next? You know what I mean? If that woman is holding it down for you and being true to you, and you know, like, if anything else, if you were ever to get sick or it was something to happen, that woman's gonna be right by your bedside. You know what I mean? And some people want families, so I don't knock them for that. So to me, like, I feel like, you know, more people should really, like, you know, just take a deep dive into like the marriage aspect, you know. But I understand too, now these days, it's really hard to trust. Even like same thing when we talk about business, it's really hard to trust somebody because maybe somebody, you know, every now and then someone had got burnt, you know, by a woman, by a man, by whoever. And so the thing is, are you going to continue to move forward, or are you going to continue to let your past deter you from actually, you know, giving love a try, from actually trying to search and choose like the right type of people for you? Because honestly, right, you know, people just make, like, you know, the wrong decision sometimes. You miss out on the red flags, but you're too afraid to cut those off because you feel like, damn, that's a one chance of a lifetime when it comes to these women. And I think that's where you have the simping going on. You have men that is just selling for something less because it's really, for a man's point of view, a man thinks it's really rare to find a woman that's attractive that's actually going to be going to reciprocate on this approach. You know what I mean? And not a lot of women actually have like an actual true reason to really reciprocate in anything, because unfortunately men have spoiled them too much. You know, like here's the thing. Kevin Simmons always said this: you have the 8s, 9s, and 10s. Okay, the 8s, 9s, and 10s most likely are going to be the ones that's going to get wifed up by the age of 25. You know, now after those 8s, 9s, and 10s get wifed up, now you got the 7s, 6s, and 5s or whatever. Okay, and so with those type of women, right, the below average type of girls. Now, when they start getting attention from those men because those 8s, 9s, and 10s is already wifed up, the problem is they get their heads pumped up as if they're like the 8s, 9s, and 10s. So the irony is you have someone that don't even look like a dime piece, but has the mindset as if she is the dime piece, which is why we mostly call them delusional. But more like it's the attitude of how they treat other people or average guys into like feeling like, well, by default, because I have so much attention from low-hanging fruit that now I am better than you and I'm right to like their level to place demands. But the reality is that, like, you know, those are the type of women that are not going to be successful as far as finding, you know, these men of value. Pretty much, they're successful like men, you know, that's on the grind, on the purpose, and all that. And usually, the cycle continues. Especially like let's say like a man like yourself, you're already living your success. You're gonna want somebody that's gonna be quality with the attitude, quality with the looks, quality with the mindset. You're looking for somebody that's on your level, pretty much. And if they're not on your level, you're not going to really choose them. And that's the problem.
Let me say this in 3. Let me say this real quick. And Dobbi, I'm going to definitely let you go after this, bro. And Dobbi, you know this, man, growing up and even you know, us being in school and all that, there were some girls that were just homegirls, man. You did not see them as girls you trying to mess with or you trying to knock down.
I tell my sons this.
I'm saying,
every woman you cross paths in life is not for you to experience. And as for women, every man you cross paths with in life is not for you to experience on a sexual level. Okay, it's just that simple. And a lot of things. Just one thing that I'm going to say that we wasn't told that I realized later is that if as you like to call them, 8, 9, or 10 woman meets a gentleman that's a 5, but he's toxic and he's able to get to them and have sex with them, but he's toxic. She now becomes toxic because sex is a transfer of energy. So if he got bad energy, now she got bad energy. So now you got a 8, 9, or 10 looker, but now because now she got bad energy, now she a 6. And there's a lot of hot chicks out here that look good to the eye, but energy-wise, they a 5 or a 6. So now when you go to meet a gentleman that's of the level where I'll just say he don't need you, but he wants you, you don't know how to act to that because you're so used to dealing with the lesser of the man. Now you got a cat that'll help you boss up. Now you don't know what to do with him because you're so busy being busy. Now you got to be busy. And it's a lot of that going on. It's a lot of that going on. It's a lot. I always say, life is easy, but you got to pay attention. If you pay attention to what's going around you, you can move mountains.
And that's key, man. Just being friends. Men and women nowadays don't know how to be friends, man. Be friends. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know how to be friends without having to have sex involved.
Yeah.
You can learn how to. the best relationships I have had was from a woman that I never had sex with. Like I'm talking about, check with me, make sure I ate, make sure my family good. I need you to do X, Y, Z for me. No problem. Boom. Never did nothing. Never even came to that. Never even. And I realized that late in life, like you really ride with a nigga like we ain't do nothing because we so busy. So we from we from New York, son. You either play sports, or you were smart. And that was the only way you got women. You had to dress good too. You had to dress good. You ain't had none of that. What you was doing? You wasn't getting no action, man. Wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah.
Now you could be a bum. You don't even got to dress good nowadays. You can be a bum. You can get some, play your cards right.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homosexuals.
I know cats with no money, clapping cheeks, B, outside every day, because that's just what they used to. It's different now. And it's not speaking negative, because if that's what you do, that's what you do. I ain't here to tell you. I ain't here to correct you. I ain't here to do nothing good. I ain't here to do nothing bad. That ain't my thing, though. I ain't doing that.
Right. And that's a excuse me. And that's a huge. That's actually a huge difference, man. Now these days, man, like it's the choices that people make, and it's like I said, you could go for the best or you could settle for less. That's the way how I kind of look at things. But it's really everything's all in that mindset.
Listen, if I'm married now, like me and my wife, we good, we straight, we do what we gotta do. But if I were to do it over, I would do it lesser. I would do it with less, because it don't require much. All any relationship, whether it's your wife, your girl, even with your homies, male or female, any relationship require time. And see, and a lot of people not used to keeping it 100. Like I got a couple people that don't even talk to me anymore because they asked me to tell them the truth. I told them the truth and they ain't like it. That's not my problem. You gotta emotionally disconnect. That ain't my fault. You asked me to tell you the truth. I told you the truth. I ain't gonna lie to you. You corny for that. You whack. Like I got friends that's mad at me because they think I'm gonna be on their side for how they treat their woman. I'm like, yo, dog, I'm not the most righteous niggas in the world, but you wrong, bro. You ain't supposed to be doing that, bro.
Right.
You want to see other women? Yo, tell your girl, bro. Give her the option. You never know. She may want you to see. She may be so tired of you and need a break from you. Might tell you, yo, go see another female, bro. Have a good night.
Yeah.
That's just the time. That's just the time we live in, bro. Won't you making sure the crib is straight? I'm good. The kid's good. Yo, do you? Just don't forget. But do you?
Right. And I want to give a shout out to Ramadan. Thank you for tuning in.
Ramadan, salute.
So,
Ram, what up?
So that person says, thank you for dropping and sharing beautiful energy tonight, my beloved brothers. So Ramadan, thank you for tuning in.
That's a sister. I know who that is.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you, sis, man. Appreciate it. And if you're new, please subscribe and share the videos to your friends and family. Man, that's definitely key wisdom, because here's the thing, right? Hell, I got cursed out, by a woman just for telling the truth. Well, my truth, giving my personal opinion to it, especially when they think one way, and I'm telling them, hey, as much as I agree with you, but then here's the other side that you don't know. And people don't like people that is direct and is honest, So, in this space, you definitely gonna tear down a lot of friendships with people, or a lot of business relationships, if you're the type of person that you just keep it 100 with them. And I don't mind keeping 100 with them, because I'm not gonna be fake with you, I'm gonna tell it like it is, and that's what it is. So, and even going back to the relationships, I mean, I guess kind of looking back, it could have been like a lot more easier, but you know, we was programmed, we was more programmed into um thinking that we gotta do a lot of extra stuff, you know, buying them flowers or singing them songs or doing that whole romantic type of stuff like the Disney way or whatever. When pretty much the best approach is basically just be you and just be upfront. So
that's it. Like I got a homie, right? So he like his girls to like girls too. But he had this one particular one where it was complex, right?
Yeah.
And I know if he see this, he probably be like, yo, why you telling my story? But yo, my bad, dog. But I got it because it's a good example, right?
Yeah.
So boom. She like females more than she like dudes, but she liked him because he outside of that, he's a great human, right? But he fumbled her due to the fact of he didn't let her choose. She gave him the rules and guidelines. He still decided to do it his way because he wanted to be dominant. You can't be dominant in every situation in a relationship. Sometimes it's give and take. And especially in a situation where it works for you, you bugging. Let her pick, bro. So now, right? She moved on. Right? Got a new dude. I just by chance, because of fashion, I know who he is. He's another great guy, right? He lets her choose. I have never seen this woman as happy with this cat than with my boy. And I'm like, yo, dog, like he brought the conversation to me because he was hurt and I had to keep it 100 with him. Like, yo, dog, like, you fumbled that. I said, because she gave you the rules and the guidelines, bro, but because you were so busy being busy, now you got to be busy. You're never going to get that again. Never. Because women that are like that come already with a different type of attitude because they know what they want, when they want it, how they want it. You know what I'm saying? So now you kind of got to, if that's what you're going to be in the mix of, you got to kind of know how to mix in that. And most men don't because that requires you having to be sure of yourself. And you got to do that. You got to be sure of yourself. This ain't about crazy, your D game crazy. You got to be physically, emotionally prepared for that. Because now you got two. Nigga, best of luck to you, bro.
Man, and I know who you're talking about too. But yeah, man, it's look, man, you have to have a balance. You know what I mean? Like
balance is key for yourself together. Balance is key.
Yeah. So this quantum love. Like here's the thing, right?
Quantum, what's up, twin?
Like you want to be dominant, but like in a way where she feels protected. You know what I mean? Not bondage and like in slavery. You know. So, and I think most guys, or maybe a few, I would say, like they get the misconception that that you gotta be pretty much like the master or the boss or whatever, right? Where the person has like no say so, whatever. And the thing is, like, if you're gonna be, I'm talking about if you really gonna be in a committed relationship with this individual, there's some things that you really gotta hear out so you could understand where she's coming from. You know? I'm not saying like no happy wife, happy life type of shit, but something where it's more balanced.
That's a facade. That don't even can't even say happy wife, happy life because guess what? A lot of wives ain't happy, so how you gonna make her happy?
Man, tell me about it.
A lot of women. Yeah. Go ahead, say it.
No, I would say, man, you gonna be unhappy, like trying to make this person happy. You ain't never gonna be happy trying to do that.
Will Smith said it. That's not my responsibility to keep making you happy. Because if I gotta keep making you happy, then that means you ain't happy. So you gotta find some way to make yourself happy. Because I don't owe you that. Right. I don't owe you happiness. I owe you peace. As long as I give you peace, you should be able to navigate your own happiness. I don't owe you that.
Yeah, for real. Quantum says, Quantum University says, facts. That saying shouldn't exist at all. Yeah,
No, it should, because in that era in which it came out, that pretty much what it was. A lot of wives ain't worked in. That's that old 50s, 60s, 70s. A lot of wives ain't worked in. They was at home taking care of kids while the man worked. You know what I'm saying? But also on the flip side, while Mr. Billy was at work, he also had 2-3 other families he was working with too. Cost of living was different then. So he could make $50,000 a year. Making $50,000 a year at that time, he was a millionaire. He was busting. He had the Cadillac, you know what I mean? Drove trucks.
Mm-hmm.
For the factory, he was the boss. He was doing his thing. 2-3 families. He kicked the bucket. He had the funeral. You got brothers and sisters you don't even know about. But it was different then. You can't do that now. You can't bust that move now.
Well, I think the thing is I think women. I think the one thing that bothers women the most is when they see that men are having other children by other women. I think that really bothers them more than anything. Because
they want to be first. They want to be the first to have it. But then they realize they're not the first, or that they're not the last. You know, that I think that'll bother a man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think women get upset at women that are just like there for the moment, because they understand that person's there for the moment. But if it's somebody that you actually invested in, right? Women get mad at men that invest their time in other women. You know what I mean? That they actually have something with. But if it's somebody who is there for that moment, and that man is not really investing their time, I feel like women don't really trip on that, especially if she knows that woman that he's dealing with does not have the equal value. You know what I mean? Like you said, women like to know they're number one, and women love attention. So if they have a man that's really at home or really there, you know what I mean? And there's some women that are just stragglers, or they don't really mean nothing to them. You know, women don't really sweat that too much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard. It's really hard for women to find men nowadays, just as hard as it is for men to find women. You know what I mean? Like it ain't easy for either one. So
many men and women have been just hurt in relationships that just wasn't for them. So now they carry that.
Mm-hmm.
You showing your lifespan. You carrying that for what? You know, you better go and live your life. There's so many men that just want sex. You know, tell Shorty, I just want to have sex with you for the night. You know what I'm saying? Like a pick, dog. Men too. Yo, I know some ferocious women. They worse than men. What I mean ferocious, like I mean like, yo, like I'm glad we friends, because I'm like, yo, like you wild, like not wild and like you just doing anything but wild, and this how you be talking to these cats out here. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they carrying hurt and ill will for something that's supposed to have been beautiful. I got homies, they got a type. They 9s and 10s. A lot of my homies ain't even in the tax bracket to be messing with no 9 and 10. Because a 9 and a 10 require maintenance. Whether anybody want to acknowledge it or not, that require maintenance, bro. And I'm not talking hair and nails only. Like, nigga, like, she don't know emotionally who she is, dog. She's a 10 because she's a 10 to look good, to get what it is she's trying to get. But what's after that? Same thing for men. Cats go to the gym, abs, chest, all of that. But what's after that? What's after that? What's the substance after that, my nigga? What you doing? You only look good without your clothes, but after that, she don't like you, though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's real, you know. Man, let me get to Quantum Love's statement, because she was going back to like the happy wife stuff. She was like, "No, put a false idea." No, she said, "No, it put a false idea in the air for the ones who took that saying and created monsters." Right, meaning that she's talking about like, you know, like men of today and women of today. Yeah, I get that part, Quantum. Like, you know, you gotta kind of be careful nowadays, because it's not like the 50s anymore. You know what I mean? Where you had a system that's structured and everybody was cool with it. Or if it was not cool, you just dealt with that. You know what I mean? Because in that case, you know, women didn't have like a lot of freedom. They didn't have well, there was jobs, but it wasn't jobs for women. You know what I mean?
Women,
yeah. And now, like, you know, women have so much they have so much power, like in this society, man. Like they, you know, they're more liberated. So things like that, yeah. Like you do have to be careful, because now they're not going to be satisfied, as they were like back then. So, pretty soon in next.
Look at the women that's making 100, 200 a year. You think as a man, you just only going in and smoking them boots a couple nights that she ain't gonna try to, because now I use the word, she digmatized now. Now you ain't going nowhere, so she's gonna try to find a way to keep you. But you don't make 100K, bro.
Yeah.
And she ain't trying to do 50-50. So what you doing?
Right. Hey, remember the old saying, right? It's kind of funny me saying the old saying, but women were content with men. Probably I think 5 years ago. Hey, I'm cool with a man making, 100,000 a year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
6 figures. But now, okay, when you ask them on these shows, how much does you want to make? How much is your minimum requirements? Dude, they'd have doubled and quadrupled it up.
Yeah.
They want you to make. They expect a man to make 300K, 400K a year, $500,000.
And I know cats making 300K. They're not looking for no woman making no 100K, bro.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That's a wild, crazy 300K. That's a crazy tax bracket. He's not looking for you, sis. All right. So let me ask you this question: What's your feelings on going 50-50?
50-50 on a woman, as far as what finances or whatever?
Y'all in a relationship, so y'all splitting the credit 50-50. How y'all feel about that?
That's doable. I mean, my thing is whoever can get to the bag first. If my woman is the next Oprah Winfrey, am I going to stop her from being the next Oprah Winfrey?
Nah, we not even talking about getting to the bag. We just regular relationship. We're not talking about entrepreneurial success. We just talking about regular. We regular Jack and Jane. We still doing
basically I'm working, my wife's working, that type of thing, right?
Y'all split the rent.
Cool with it.
As average people, as long as
food, car insurance, whatever, y'all split everything down the middle, 50-50.
Look,
it's a lot of women. It's a lot of women that's not cool with that. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. You find a woman that's cool with that. I'm gonna put it like this, right? To keep it real with you, as average men, you know what I mean, or with the average women, look, as long as you can just put something that is cool, just be genuine, because I'm not even looking for a woman that's I'm married or whatever, right? But I don't care about the finances or whatever. I just want you to be a cool person to me, be loyal. But if you're already putting 50-50 into it, right? I'm cool with that. If I was making, let's just say, a substantial amount, right? But you still want to put your 50 or put your 25, I'll allow you to do that. Whatever that makes you have, that makes you feel like you're contributing something, because it just makes me happy when you're make me feel appreciated,
Right.
Or I appreciate you for doing even the little things, because the little things means that much to me. You know what I mean? Believe it or not. But there are some.
I see a lot of platforms where women was really going hard on men not wanting to go 50-50, but I'm like, you can't really, in today's time with inflation and how everything, and then you gotta also remember too, and it's not to talk funny about women and stuff like that, but a lot of women come with responsibilities already. So you can't ask a man who don't have the same responsibility as you to do everything for you. That's not his responsibility. You can't. To me, I feel that's selfish.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, if you just want the man to go all in, you're talking about 100%.
You want me to go 101%, but now you got other responsibilities that I didn't make with you, so I don't require to have to do that to you. So then my next question is always, so then what do you bring to the table that require me to do everything for you?
You tell that they're gonna always have a counter offer. They're like, oh, what do you bring to the table, or or you broke, nigga, and all this stuff. Yeah,
because at the end of the day, a relationship is a business deal. We clapping teeth, we doing that. It's a transaction. So you want me to do everything for you. So then, what do you offer that requires me to do everything for you?
Yeah.
well, the thing is, if you live in a major American city, you have to live in reality. If you're living in a major U.S. city, then you have to do what it takes to survive. You know what I'm saying? And for anybody that thinks that like you are just going to be popping off and you're gonna be able to live in this major city without, you know, having some financial, you know, backing, you're fooling yourself. So if she has these illusions of grandeur without a plan, and she just wants a man to provide all these things without actually planning it with him, actually willing to work as hard as he is to make that happen, then she doesn't deserve that from anybody. You know what I mean? Why would anybody be foolish enough to give anyone that amount of money and resources, knowing, you know what I mean, not knowing, one, if this person is even going to stick around for that, and two, if she's really about money, then she's always going to be about money. She's going to look for somebody else with more money. Like, that's not going to change. Like, why is it going to change with me? What makes me so special that now that I done did all this stuff for you, that now if you meet a number one draft pick from the NFL that you ain't willing to leave, you know what I mean? You're going to be willing to leave for that number one draft pick. Like, you out.
A man with money not looking for that type of headache. He's not looking for that headache.
Yeah, that's what.
And that's usually where the Joe Smoke get caught up. But he's so busy looking at what she look like and just trying to get some hoop. So, you can buy it. You can buy it now, bro. You got a little paper. Save yourself the headache, bro, because that's about to run you in the ground, God.
I just say, man, just be realistic. Be realistic and stay in your lane. If you know you're not on that type of level, don't even try to stretch it. As a matter of fact, just get inspired, right? Be inspired of where you're not at, so you could work on getting to that level where you could be comfortable and confident enough. Because see, the thing is, like, you know, the confidence don't just come out thin air. You actually got to put the work into it to build like your self-esteem up. Most people that has low self-esteem, especially as men, are the ones that didn't really put much into their own personal lives. And that's why they walk around with their head down. You know, good example. Well, maybe probably not into the finance aspect, right? But in relationships, like, check out this Netflix TV series. It has only 2 seasons so far. It's called Jenny and Georgia. Okay, like it's a good drama series, and when you look into it, right, especially in the beginning of season 1, you'll have like kind of like the alpha type of dude, and then you have like the beta type of dude. But you'll understand like certain mindsets and their thought patterns of how they treat this particular woman and how they treat themselves, you know. But overall, man, like, look, just choose like quality women, but you gotta have quality for yourself. And, you know, and I think I'm gonna talk more about this.
Everybody got to be quality. Is equal. Everybody gotta be quality. But it's different. It's different now. This ain't our grandparents ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, look, guys, like I do have to roll out quickly before like the ATM close, but yo, Dobbi, man, yo, it was definitely nice like meeting you. Great conversation. And look, bro, like, you know, whenever, if you're ever not busy, man, like, you know, we usually stream, we almost stream almost every day, but our flagship streams is like, you know, Monday nights and Thursday nights, like at around like 6 Pacific time, which is 7, 8, 9, like your time. So, you know, if you're not busy, man, feel free to join like the panels, man. Like, you know,
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the alley-oop, man.
No problem.
I'm honored to have been on y'all platform. I've been looking at y'all stream on YouTube for a minute now, so this is kind of like a situation I was looking to get into, man. Yo, D, I appreciate you, bro. Dead ass.
Man, much love, brother. You already know. And Dobbi, stick around, bro. Stick around, like, after the stream, man. Definitely want to chop it with you real quick.
I got you. Yo, and y'all gotta send me your information. I'm gonna send y'all some merch on the house, right? Just send me your sizes and whatever. I got you.
Okay, yeah. I'll shoot the address still like in the back chat. Oh man, yeah, no, I could, yeah. If it's easier, I could text it to you like on the IG, whatever.
Yeah, just, whenever you got the time to send me information, I'm gonna have my people send it to you.
Hey man, for sure, man. Hey, appreciate it, man. You know?
No,
Yes, sir.
appreciate you more, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So I can't wait to be rocking the gear out. So, yeah, let me go ahead and cue the music real quick.
You don't want to get on.
Yo, because the conversation was getting good. You feel me? Like, well, it's still getting good, you know. And I mean, you've been dropping a lot of like good gems and all that. So that part I definitely greatly appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
No
But everybody, thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships Live Talk. You know where we're gonna be at, man. So catch us again like on our next live stream. So I'll let you know, what's going to be like the next like topic pretty soon. But anyways, thank you for rocking with us. Happy like 3K, for our network. We definitely been putting like a lot of hard work as a team, and we're gonna celebrate. Just give us some time. I'll say like after, let's just say in 2 weeks or whatever. I gotta try to get into the YouTube partnership program. So wish us the best of luck that we'll get monetized this time, and then we'll really celebrate. But until then, thank you everybody for rocking with us. If you guys wish to donate, please feel free to donate. And also, let me post out the link. Sorry, not the link, but his IG one more time. So, Dobbi Apparel, .le on IG. Go ahead and reach out to him. And then this is his website as well too, where you want to order some merch. So please feel free to do so. And with that being said, everybody, thank you for walking with us, and we are out. Later, people.
Later, y'all.
Knowledge and relationships.